So this is the second edition of this two-part presentation on the ruling that ATC Ghana has secured against Airtel Ghana. The company that they have to get their money from, like I said, is Airtel Ghana, not PPL, not AT Ghana. It's Airtel Ghana. So that's why in January 2025, ATC then went to court here in Ghana to go and get an injunction to stop Airtel Ghana from transferring its assets and staff to PPL. But remember that this transfer of assets was done in 2024, November 2024. So if you secure an injunction in 2025, January 2025, really, if you think about it, it's of no effect, because once the transfer has been done, it cannot be reversed. Because you can only injunct something that is yet to be done, then it will be stopped. So the injunction really was of no effect. So really, the injunction said that they should stop the transfer pending the international arbitration ruling. Now the international arbitration ruling has come, and they say that ATC Ghana is indeed owed the money, and they must be paid that money. But you see, in the midst of all this, ATC Ghana, even though personally, I have had occasion to describe them as sort of like, like they made themselves like vultures, and the very system that we created in Ghana, which is the co-location system that we created in Ghana, to then make companies like them have business to do, not them alone. We have Helios, we have Eaton is gone, but now we are left with Helios and ATC Ghana. Of course, KNet also provides some co-location services here and there. You see, tower co-location in particular. We created a policy that created companies like this. Now they've come into Ghana, and it looks as if, first of all, they began their business by being in partnership with MTN, which is a player. And that for me was a bit problematic, that even the regulator sat down and allowed a big tower company to have a relationship with one telco, and the telco was owning telco MTN Ghana, who owned 49% of ATC Ghana at the time. All these things, and even some industry players complained that because of that they were being shortchanged in favor of MTN, blah blah blah. All these things were denied. But you see, the reality on the ground was that others were suffering. Fine, they were also not investing, but others claimed that they were suffering in terms of network. Connectivity. They were suffering. They were not being given, the same kind of service that MTN got. Blah 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 blah. All those things. We've talked about them in many ways. You see, but then now ATC Ghana, in spite of the huge amounts that Airtel owed them, our understanding, which government have not denied, nobody in the industry has denied, is that they slashed down. Listen, they slashed down the debt owed them heavily. First of all, they began by taking off all the interest that have accumulated for years, because the money that they are owed is not just straightforward bills, but some of them is interest that have accrued over the years. They slashed everything down. Then the principal itself, according to them, they slashed about 80% of the principal itself. And so the money that they now started to demand from government was just about $20 million or so. Now in telecom business, $20 million is money, but telecom business, it's really not much. But as we are talking to today, even that, they've not been paid. You see, even that, they have not been paid. And that is a bit worrying, because from our understanding, when they presented these proposals to the government, you would have expected that government would have jumped at it, okay, and then even worked with their entity, which is Airtel Ghana. Even though government itself cannot be held liable, they should have worked with their entity, Airtel Ghana, to work out something for these monies to be paid. But from what we are told, government was pretty much dismissive of this offer, and they've sent all these proposals to the presidency, to the ministry, to even national security, because national security some of the infrastructure that AT Ghana runs on. National security is also connected to it and all that. So AT Ghana was compelled to then, ATC Ghana was compelled to then cut off AT Ghana operations in September 2025. So you see, all these discussions have gone on all the way to September 2025. Still nothing was being done. So they have to cut them off, which then compelled the government to go and do a national roaming arrangement between AT Ghana and Telecel Ghana. Even that one, initially, it was announced to us as a merger. It was clearly announced to us as a merger. Then they came back later on, pulled it back and said that it's not a merger, not that it's an acquisition, but it is a national roaming arrangement. Then Telecel also did their group CEO at the international level did an interview and also said that they are absorbing and that they are even investing $50 million extra. To them, they are absorbing. Use the word absorbing. As to what the word absorbing even means within this arrangement and in business, we don't even know what it means, because we only know about mergers and acquisitions. So this business of absorbing, what does it mean? Does it mean that you are taking over their assets, you are taking over their customers, you are taking over their assets, you are taking over? What is it? What is the absorbing? What does it mean? And we didn't know what it means. In the midst of that confusion, communication confusion, then it was said that, okay, another investor, now that they've seen that PPL has been created, and so PPL is debt free because all the debts are now with Airtel Ghana. PPL is debt free. So another investor called Rectron Group wanted to come in from Canada. They came, they said their proposal was reviewed by KPMG, and they said that number one, they didn't give us enough proof of financial muscle to take over. And then secondly, too, they didn't show any proof of experience in telecoms. Meanwhile, they were supposed to have a local partner called Airtel Ghana, and Airtel Ghana has got like more experience. The people in Airtel Ghana have got more experience in telecoms than anybody you can think about in Ghana, and yet they claim that one of the things against Rectron, in spite of their partnership with Airtel, they don't have experience in telecom, and then they also don't have the financial muscle. Those were the things. As to whether they were true or not, we don't know, but those were the things we were told. Do you understand? So that is it. So it looks like, so now Airtel Ghana, as we are talking now, AT Ghana under the PPL, even the PPL arrangement itself, this current government even questioned it at some point. So now government says that they are auditing. They are, because they said that initially they said there was some $10 million that was voted to be invested into AT Ghana under the holding of PPL Ghana. But the government says that no. Let's hold on. Minister says no. Let me hold on. Let's do an audit of AT Ghana, all the operations, and then see where we stand before we think about even investing in anything. Because as of now, even under the holding of PPL, AT Ghana's operations, they are still even piling up debts. So ATC Ghana have cut them off, but now they are doing national roaming with Telecel. So there are service charges there that they need to pay Telecel, and I'm sure even other vendors I need to pay. So the debt, we are told, is now piling. That is beside the 2 billion, 1.5 billion, 2 billion or so, which has now been slashed down to $20 million that I was told about. That is there, has now been paid back. And the last time the minister said that they are piling up debt about 10 million or so Ghana cedis every month. That's what the minister said. So it means that the debt is still piling up. So the question is that, what are we going to do with AT Ghana? Whether AT Ghana is under the PPL or is Airtel, really, like, think about what difference is it making? Because the separation, the movement of the assets to PPL is to create an environment for investor confidence, for them to come in. Now the investors want to come in. They are questioning the abilities of the investors to be able to do, what they say they can do, in spite of their investors' partnership with local experts in telecom. So really, now the audit, they claim an audit is going on. The cabinet has actually approved an audit to go on, and it's been months, and there's an audit going on, and we still don't know what is going to become. And so now, if you listen to conversations, whether from government from anybody, when they are talking about the industry, the focus is on MTN and Telecom. Even government they don't talk about AT Ghana. So you ask yourself, so what is happening? What are we going to do? Are the investors coming in? Number two, what is being done about the ATC Ghana debt and even other debts that are lying on Airtel Ghana, which were occasioned by the operations of Airtel Tigo, and all through to AT Ghana? What is happening to it? There's a ruling by the ICC, International Court of Arbitration, against Airtel Ghana. What does it mean? What are the implications of that ruling? Does it mean that ATC Ghana can jump on certain assets and sell them? And then if they are jumping on certain assets, what assets are they going to jump on? Because as we speak now, Airtel Ghana has no assets. Airtel Ghana, that they say that they are now the company that owes ATC Ghana. They don't have assets. All the assets have been given to PPL, and PPL by law doesn't owe ATC. Guys, it's a confusion. It's a you see, so the ruling that has come, to what effect? What is going to be the effect of that ruling? If today ATC Ghana say that, Charlie, we are here, we are bringing whatever, police or whatever to come and effect the ruling, what would they be doing? Effect the ruling on who? On who? If they say they want to sell assets, which assets would they be selling? Which building? Which infrastructure? What? You see, so that is where we are now. So ruling, yes, the same way they went to seek an injunction in January 2025, and it was of no effect because the transfer had been done already in November 2024. Now there's a ruling. The ruling too has come out. Who are they going to tackle? They can't tackle PPL. They can't tackle AT Ghana. They can't tackle government. They can only tackle Airtel Ghana. So what is going to happen? I think this is where sometimes you expect that there will be government to also show leadership, because government is the one at the top of this whole thing. So in order that companies like ATC too are not left to die, because I don't think that is what we want. In spite of all the things that we think about ATC, I mean, personally too, I also think that we've created a policy that has brought a company like this, and now they are more or less like sitting on people's necks, you know, which I mean, we did it. I mean, our regulators started and watch all these things will happen. So that one, sometimes you can talk about like MTN became SMP. It was because of the decisions and indecisions of the regulators over years, many years. The same thing with ATC. Regulators have sat down and watched this thing to happen. They could have done something, but they didn't do it. So that's where we are. So still, it has the back goes back to government. Mr. Minister, show leadership. Show us the leadership. No, that is something that you can do something about. Just let's do something about this. I believe that sitting down with ATC at the negotiation table, why they've been here all this while, this money will be owed to them all this year. So I'm sure there's some arrangement can be arrived at, so that we can find a way forward.